Hello, Amy and Noah, and also Bo and Amanda. This is Steve Goldberg in Durham, North Carolina, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit about how Google Earth works. So I'm going to start with Amy and Noah, who live in Concord, Massachusetts. And what I've done is to make a place mark called Concord Overview over here. It's not of anything in particular, but so I actually don't want it checked. I'm unchecking it in this box here. And it shows me, okay, here's Concord, Lexington's nearby, that makes sense, Battle of Lexington and Concord, and here's Hanscom Air Force Base. And so you could make a variety of place marks around here that tell different stories that you want to tell. And I'll show you in a moment how to make a place mark. But we're going to start in Concord, and Amy and I met at Good Harbor Beach, actually on July 5th, because my wife Jocelyn and son Ben and I were visiting our friends the Graces, and Amy and her family were also there. And so this is where I described that we had a fun time with Robin, Bill, Ryan, and Ben and their friends, of which Amy and Noah are two. And this is a pretty neat little beach I'd never been to before. I'll turn off the place mark there, and there's this neat island that when there's low tide you can actually walk out to. Apparently we weren't there at particularly low tide, but if I turn on the photos layer on Google Earth and zoom out a little bit, it'll consolidate a lot of these pictures. And then for Bo and Amanda, who are watching from Atlanta, this would give them a sense of what this beach looks like. And here's some shots of the beach. It's night apparently. It's a lovely beach. Try to get a shot with lots of people. Yeah. Well, when we were there, it was a very populated day. These are less populated pictures, but you get the idea. It's a very picturesque spot on the water. And so if we can zoom out a little bit, we can get a sense of where that is relative to Boston, which is sort of around. Here we go. There's Boston down there. So what I'm going to do is take you to where Bo and Amanda are, which is a school called Mount Vernon Presbyterian School. And I just typed in the name of the school. I could type in the address, but by typing this in, Google Earth says, do you mean this school, the upper school, the Glenn campus? I don't know which school we're talking about. But let's say we're looking at here in Atlanta, and something interesting happened on second base. So I'm going to zoom in to second base, and I'm going to create a place mark up here where it says add place mark. Click on that, and you get a place mark, and you can move it while it's flashing. See how it's got that flashing thing around it there? So I'm going to move it to second base and say, I don't know, I found $1,000 at second base. And then I could add a URL here, tlcmiddle.com, and describe whatever was going on here, what a great school, etc. And now when you click on this place mark, it will take you to, that's interesting, it didn't make it a, let me put HTTP before that. Okay, and then it should make that into a link. Yeah, and now I can click that link and it pulls up whatever's on the screen, the TLC website in this case, which is coming up slowly apparently. But you get the idea, and that is how you make a place mark using Google Earth, and how we can do that, Amy and Noah, by finding things that are interesting to Noah, who is 7 and lives in Concord, and how we can do some really neat stuff at Mount Vernon. I'm not sure which campus you guys are at, but if we zoom out further and wanted to say something about this building down here, we could make another place mark. Sometimes you have to move this out of the way. And then you could describe place number 2, yada, yada, yada. idea. This can be a very powerful tool. I've been keeping place marks for about 5 years. And if you look here, as I scroll up, I have over 1,500 place marks, I think. Sort of lost track of counting. And one thing that I do is record news articles that I read. So if I want to give you some context here, this is Las Vegas and the Grand Canyon type area. I'll turn the photos off. They're distracting at the moment. But here's Las Vegas, and turn on geographic features. Here's the Grand Canyon over this way. And here's LA and Riverside. And I read an article about solar power in the Mojave Desert, just on the border of California and Nevada. And if we zoom in here, you can see all these mirrors directed at a tower. And what they're doing is heating water to create solar power. And if I click on this link to an NPR news article, which should come up momentarily, you can see why I found this interesting and was able to find the location actually pretty easily using Google Earth. Sadly, the article is not coming up quickly. The internet never works when you want it to. But you'll have to trust me that if you go to NPR and search for, maybe that's the way to do it. Now I'm just frozen here. Oh, there we go. There it is. NPR.org. This was on 7/29, and it talks about a massive solar plant being a stepping stone for future projects. And if we zoom down a little bit, you can see there's the tower. And these are all the mirrors that are directed at the towers, and each mirror is about the size of a garage door, apparently. Pretty interesting stuff. So that's 7 minutes of how Google Earth works. And if I wanted to make another place mark there, I could just go place mark and talk about this one here. You get the idea. Okay, have a good day.